My boyfriend's dad called me sweetheart on Christmas Eve, and it broke me. Me, 20, and my boyfriend, 20 at the time, celebrated Christmas with our respective families in our own homes. Obviously, we both live with our parents. After finishing the celebrations with my own family, I visited my boyfriend's family that night. As we all chatted, my boyfriend began showing off a gift I had given him on our anniversary, which he had crafted all by himself with a little help from me, a Japanese Sakura-themed book nook. We watched as he explained it to his grandmother, speaking loudly and slowly so she could understand, which was just adorable. Then, his dad started saying some funny and sweet things to me about how he thought it was an awesome gift and how proud my boyfriend was. In his dad's words, when he first showed it to me, I could see how proud and confident he was that his big and clumsy hands created something this delicate and beautiful. It was genuinely pleasant. However, then his dad turned to me, looked into my eyes, and asked, "Are you still hungry, sweetheart?" I froze. It felt like the most unexpected emotional punch. I still felt teary-eyed. I tried not to show it, but inside, I felt like shedding a tear. It felt like the first genuine fatherly warmth I'd felt in a decade. The pain was intensified because I had severed ties with my deadbeat dad just 2 months prior. He was never around, but when I gave him another chance that October, hoping he had changed, he canceled our plans last minute to spend time with his new girlfriend. Feeling unloved and unimportant, I confronted him, and he responded with hurtful words. I vowed never to speak to him again. My boyfriend's dad resembles my own dad in personality, but is actively present in his family's and son's lives, being a dedicated, hard-working father. Hearing him call me sweetheart and ask if I was hungry deeply touched me. It led me to wonder, has my dad ever shown such concern? When I said yes, he kindly offered to reheat some Christmas dinner for me. As it warmed, I mentioned that my dad had also been silent that Christmas Eve, which was no surprise. My boyfriend's dad offered comforting words and valuable advice that still resonates with me today. Sitting at the dinner table, I pondered his words, feeling a warmth I hadn't experienced in years. Despite thinking I might have misinterpreted his kindness, he confirmed it when he noticed my empty plate and asked, "Do you need more, sweetheart? Or are you full?" I felt overwhelmed with emotion. I nodded, feeling like a little girl again. I expressed my gratitude and appreciation. Throughout the evening, his words lingered, comforting me. When I said goodbye, he replied, "Of course. Drive home safely, sweetie." Tears flowed as I drove home. For the rest of the week, I didn't dwell on my biological dad's absence. Next story. I, 28M, want a divorce from my wife, 27F, but everyone want me to forgive her. Throw away for obvious reasons explained below. Me and my wife has been married for 3 years. First, let me say my wife is not struggling with any issues that I am aware of, and we have known each other since grade school. We literally know everything about each other and families. About 2 months ago, I came home and found my wife and 6-month-old daughter on the couch. My wife was asleep and my daughter next to her. The moment I went in to greet them, I smelled my daughter immediately. She needed a diaper change. I didn't know how long it has been since her last diaper change. I took my daughter from the couch to go and change her diaper. As I didn't want to wake up my wife doesn't sleep during the day, so I know that if I find my wife sleeping during the day or any time before 9 p.m., she had a hectic day and is just drained. I walked into my daughter's room and placed her on the changing table and started to change her diaper. Not even 2 minutes later, my wife walked into the room, and as I greeted her, she looked at me and looked down to my daughter on the changing table and went into a rage and started to attack me. I was stunned for like a second and instinct kicked in, and I leaned over my daughter to protect her. My wife was shouting while hitting me, "How could I? How could I?" over and over again, and then I'm a monster. I had no idea at the time what she was talking about, and the morning I left, everything was as good as it could be. She then ran out the room. Like 5 minutes later, 3 police officers had me in handcuffs, and my wife going crazy that she caught me SA my daughter. I was speechless at that moment and couldn't believe what she was saying. I asked her what she was talking about. All she kept saying is that she saw me dying it. I was arrested and released the next day when the police had a look at the camera footage in my daughter's room, clearly seeing that I was just busy changing her diaper and nothing happened. There is not evidence that to support my wife's claims ABD she attacked me without provocation. I want a divorce as I can't believe she would even think that I would do something like that. I haven't spoken to her since I got released and my phone has been blowing up with calls and texts with her apologies. I honestly don't care about that. The moment she said those words to the police, That I say my daughter, it was like all the love I had for he just left me, and all I feel is a void inside of me at the moment, nothing else. I had her served with divorce papers a week ago, and now everyone is constantly harassing me from my family, our friend, to talk to her and try counseling to sort this out. She can get counseling if she want, but I will not be involved. I am Jong for full custody of my daughter. My lawyer has informed me that I will most probably get full custody of my daughter due to my wife's violent outburst on Kamara, and that I had to shield her with my body and the false claims laid against me, noting her mental state. Everyone is saying I'm taking things too far by divorcing her and trying to take my daughter from her. But nobody can give me a reason as to why she did what she did. She herself in the 374 message hasn't given me an explanation as well, just constant sorry. And we can go for marriage counseling and individual counseling again. I don't care, she can go by herself. I'm just worn down at the moment as the gravity of everything is hitting me. What should I do? Everyone is on her side. What am I missing? Next story. I-28F just found out that my boyfriend, 28M, has been cheating on me for months. He claims it was solely online and that he never exchanged photos or met up with anyone. He simply enjoyed conversing and role-playing with other guys. He mentioned already having a girlfriend and expressed no interest in engaging with other women. He clarified that he isn't attracted to the male physique, but is rather interested in watching men masturbate and receiving stories from them. This behavior began a year ago when he accessed Grindr approximately once a month. I checked his phone activity, which confirmed this frequency until around July or August when it increased. Over the past few months, he accessed the platform multiple times daily. I also came across a post where he discussed meeting someone. He claims he didn't go through with it due to guilt, but still shared explicit content with them. Even after expressing my willingness to explore such interests together, he continued to engage behind my back. He admits his actions stemmed from shame and fear of my reaction, leading him to conceal his behavior. My concern isn't about his attraction to men. It's his dishonesty and willingness to deceive me when faced with uncomfortable conversations. I desire transparency and respect in our relationship. Either we've entered a new phase in our relationship or it's nearing its end. I shouldn't have to constantly monitor him. I seek genuine trust. He contends that his actions were purely physical and lacked emotional involvement. Yet, why seek real interactions instead of merely watching adult content? I'm skeptical about his explanations. Perhaps he craves secrecy, which I cannot accept or tolerate. Are there men who have experienced this from the other side and can provide perspective? Or anyone who can relate to my situation? I simply need to converse and prefer not to involve anyone I know personally.